Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this past week's trades and the weekly recap. Before I get into the recap, if you're not in the room, you can find a link in the description of the video and in my bio section of social media account. Also, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Now, this past week, I did not do very good at all. I didn't trade that much, and I took more losses than I wanted to. So I did finish the week with 9 wins and 4 losses for a win rate of 69.23%, which is very, very bad for me. 85% is my weekly, monthly goal. And I just, this past week was very, very frustrating. The market was so trappy, and anything I looked at, it either did the opposite or it just went against me as soon as I get in or shortly after I get in. And just the market has just been so horrible. And I think it's due primarily because of the election. So the election has got the markets being propped up. Nothing really matters. Patterns are failing. I mean, a lot of things that you normally would look at are just not working right now. And I'm just hoping that it's just this past week. And so, I mean, I'm not going to dwell on it. It is what it is. But with that said, I'll just get into the trades, and you'll see what I mean as we're going through it. It's been a very crappy week. So trade it is on, let's see, Monday the 24th. I said in the room, SPY puts on the 543.50. This was Friday right here. 543.50, which is this low down here. And you can see pre-market right down here. So I used this low right here. And Monday, I've been staying out of, I usually like to play the open range breakout or breakdown after the first 2-minute candles form, but lately the first 30 minutes has been really very choppy, and it's just been a misdirection and fake outs and stuff like that. So I've been kind of avoiding it, especially on Monday mornings. See right here, I mean, it did break lower day. I probably could have got a play out of that, but this is what I mean. You get a green candle, it doesn't break higher day, it shoots down enough to get puts in, then it rages up. So I mean, this is just crazy how this has been doing this. So also, I just want to mention my son's awake in the background, so he may hear mumbling here and there, so I apologize for that, but it is what it is. So but I waited. I didn't take a play until this, I think, 9:50. I took a play at 9:50 when it made new lower day, and it quickly got back up and broke high day. This is when I took calls. I took the 54.70 calls at $7, and they went from $7 to $23.90. So I didn't wait the first 30 minutes, but I did let the fake out happen. So it did fake out to the bottom, then it popped. So if it did fake out to the top, which it didn't really break high a day, I think it tagged it. What was the high of this candle? 544.51, 540. Yeah, I mean, it tagged high a day, but it didn't really break it. But I mean, it's enough to probably get somebody in. And when it made new lower day, I mean, if it actually popped a little higher than faked out, then I would have probably looked at puts. But usually getting one fake out in the morning, then you actually get the move. So that's what I've been noticing. There's 1 to 2 fake outs. So it's hard to tell. I mean, it's impossible to know which fake out is going to be the real one, because the market is just so trappy. So this time I got the right play. Then I took calls at 149, which is right here. Okay, I was thinking, okay, 544 is getting bought. I got below the 544. This looks like a stop hunt right here, and it got a new lower day. I mean, you got a lower day right here, and before the people start going for a reversal, they flush out stops. To me, it looked like that's what they were doing here. They were taking out stops for it to V rally back out, at least back up to the 546, but it didn't. It just chopped and just went down. So I thought for sure that that was what was happening, because right here, I mean, you can see it was getting 544 was getting bought. It made it look like it was going to bounce then they flushed out stops and they came back up. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy calls here. The 54.65 calls at 740, and it didn't bounce, it just dropped. So then I ended up averaging down at 159, which is right here when it made new lower day. And my average went from, yeah, because I added more 450, making my new average 6, and it just started to go a little bit. I don't think they actually went green. I mean, I think they might have gone green here. I'm not quite sure, but then it just dumped, so I ended up stopping out at 3. So it didn't work out too well. Thought for sure we were going to stay in the range and pop back up to higher day, or at least 546, but it didn't. It just stayed near lower day, and then just at the end of the day it just dumped. So it didn't work out. But this is what I'm talking about. I mean, this looked like it was going to stay within the range and bounce, and they made new lower day, and it looked like it was going to bounce. It just rejected the 20 EMA and then just dumped. So tricky day for Tuesday. I mean Monday, Tuesday. Same thing. Yeah, my son's going to be in the background talking. But anyways, Tuesday, traded his room. SPY puts in a 543, which is down here at this low. Well, actually a little higher. It's a round number. First 2-minute candle. Didn't break. It was green. I mean red. Didn't break lower day. Then it broke lower day right here. Then it quickly got bought back up. And this is like a double fake out. It made new lower day. Got bought back up. Went to higher day. Got faked out. Then it just chopped. But I did buy calls at 10.11, which is right here. This is where I bought calls right here. I bought it over. I'm not quite sure where I bought it. They went from $7 to $7.60, so I probably bought it right at over $5.44. I bought the 54.65 calls at $7, and they went from $7.60. Not much of a play. Then I took calls at 11.55, which was, I didn't take calls here. I took calls right here, and I see why I did that. Got this big green candle, pulls back a little bit of a flag. As soon as it gets over this 544, I think 45 or 40-ish area, I grabbed calls, thinking that got a little bit of a cup and a little bit of a handle that we were going to pop and go to 545 or something. And so I grabbed the 54.65 calls again at $7, and it dropped right afterwards. So, I mean, the setup was right there. I mean, you could say inverted head and shoulders. You get the left, you get the head, and you get the right shoulder right here. And that's the neckline, sort of like the neckline right here. Or you could say cup and handle. I mean, the pattern was there, and I probably would have taken it again using the 20 EMA as support. It looked like it was going to pop, and it just didn't. It was a huge fake out. So, again, another fake out. This market is just, you just don't know. See, this is what I was talking about on Monday that made new lower day. I was expecting this right here to happen right here, but it didn't, or even here, and it didn't. It just ended up being a fake out. So it is what it is. So another loss. I mean, I think I took a loss every day this week. Actually, the only day I didn't take a loss was Wednesday, which is crazy. Wednesday, traded his room. Let's see. I said, what was Wednesday, 26th? SPY calls over 544. The reason I took calls, 544. It's dropped from 546.50-ish all the way down to 543, and that's like a $3 plus drop. And I thought everybody was going to pile into puts at open, and whenever you have these kind of a drop at pre-market before open, they like to people like to come pouring into puts, and that's when they end up seeing a big green candle getting squeezed out. So that's what I was looking for. That's why I like to wait until pre-market, right before the market opens, like a half an hour, 15 minutes before the market opens, to what I'm really looking at. Because pre-market, especially leading up to pre-market from 8 to 9:30, tells a story, and sometimes you can kind of see what's going to happen before it happens, and that's what I was looking at, and that's exactly what ended up happening. Not as extreme as it. I mean, it should have done this right here, but it did not as extreme. Slightly, a little bit, but not too much. But anyways, as soon as it broke higher day on this candle, I took the calls. I took the 54.65 calls at $7. That seems to be the magic number, $7. and they went from $7 to 10.50. So that ended up being a good play. Then I took calls again at 10.55, which is right here. I took calls at 10.55. I think I took them right here at 544.50, and it went against me a little bit. Then I ended up averaging down at 11.12, which is right here, and it made new lower day. So I added more at 270 because I had it at 570. I added more at 270, making my new average 420. Then it popped after I averaged down. So that my average 420 went from 420 to 470. So I didn't get that much. So yeah, I think the 470 was right here. So I was able to get out green. So I'm not going to complain. I avoided that loss. Got lucky on that play. It could have gone horribly wrong, but it is what it is. I took a chance. Sometimes you just got to go with what you got. Then I took calls at 350 right here. So I was looking at, if it got over 545, I was taking calls because we've been getting action like this the last 10 minutes, 5 minutes of the day. We get a big dump right here, but usually we get a pop. And I was looking at the this area because it keeps rejecting its 545 area or close to it. So I saw it creeping over. I mean, obviously it's over VWAP. VWAP keeps getting bought. So I was thinking, okay, we get over 545 end of day, this thing's gonna pop. So it did, and I grabbed 54.70 calls at 320, and they went from 320 to 1380. So it ended up being a 300% move on that play. So really good end of the day play on that. So I'm very, very happy about that. Then on Thursday, traded room, I said SPY calls over 546.50, which is right 546.50. Where did I get that number? 546.50. Oh, is it this high up here? I got that number from somewhere. It didn't come from that. 27th, right? 546.50. Oh, I think I was looking at the hourly. Yeah, I was looking at the hourly. Yeah, I was looking at this hourly right here. Let me back it out a little more. Right here, you can see right here is you get resistance, 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 resistance. You get an inverted head and shoulders, the left, the head and the right shoulder, and the 546.50 area was the breakout for it. And it had a strong green candle. When we have a massive green candle like this or red candle open, I'm very, I'm very skeptical about taking the ORB because it's such a big candle, and usually the next 10-minute candle ends up being a fake out, and this is exactly what it was. So I didn't take it, but I did take puts at 9.52 when it broke new lower day. Right here, I probably shouldn't have done that, but I did. I took the 54.70 puts at 7:30, and as soon as I got in, it faked out. I mean, this is what it's been doing all. I mean, this is just crazy. If you took ORB, you would have got faked out. If you took the new lower day, you would have got faked out. If you took the break a higher day right here, you would have got faked out. I mean, this is a complete mess. This is what SPY has been doing. It gets to levels and it fakes you out, and you anticipate the fake out, and it does a double fake out on you. So if you anticipate the fake out right here, and then it did a double fake out right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4 fake outs. I mean, just this market has been a complete headache and a mess. So we just need something to happen because this is just driving me nuts because I hate this market. And I've struggled before in the past here and there. So if I'm actually struggling, it's really bad because I'm really quick to adapt. And even when you adapt, it changes the next day or two. So it's impossible. I'll have to tend to him for a second. I'll be right back. Okay. Then I took. He was just getting a little whiny, so I had to take care of him. Hopefully he'll be all right now. So I had to take puts. Okay. So I took the loss on this, which was what 54.70 puts at 7:30. I stopped it out at 3. Then I took puts at 10.50, which is right here, because you get all the bodies of these candle and VWAP right here. Once it got below 546, I think was the area I got it. I grabbed puts. I grabbed the 54.80 puts at 740, and they went from 740 to 1520 right there. So these puts I dumped, I think they ended up going green. I don't remember, but yeah, I wasn't too happy about that. But I did get a good play out of that. Then I grabbed puts again at 218, which is right here, down here. I got it in this place, so I must have got it underneath the 545 area. I grabbed the 5470 puts at 580, and they went from 580 to 720. So yeah, they went to 720 right here. So yeah, they definitely went green over here. So got a little bit of a play out of that. So can't complain too much out of that. Then Friday, traded ears room. Let's see, on Friday, SPY calls a 548.50, which is up here. I get a little bit of a rising channel going on right here. You get the bottom right here, and you get the top right here. So I was using this right here, this area, the 548.50, as an area to watch. I didn't touch it here. I just sat out. I mean, it just took off. I probably should have played those calls, but I mean, I just didn't. Then I did grab calls at 10.23. Was right here. This was kind of a stupid play, I think. I played the FU setup right here. Big green candle, red FU candle, and as soon as I got over the 549, 550 area, I grabbed puts. I grabbed the 55. Oh, I grabbed the call. Sorry, I grabbed the 5530 calls at 590, thinking the FU setup was right there. 550 being a huge number. I thought for sure everyone's piling into puts right here because of the 550 being a big number. So I thought, okay, they're going to push it one more strong push to take out the puts before. This is an obvious number to short. Obvious number to short is where they like to, the market makers like to make a stop hunt, because all the stops are going to be over a higher day. So I thought they were going to push it to 550.50 and or plus a 551, and they didn't. It just dumped it. So I kind of got fooled on that one, because usually almost 90% of the time when you have an obvious play like this, SPY will pop a little more to take out the stops before they reverse it. You can almost see it almost every single time. They'll do that, but they didn't. So I end up stopping out at that $2 or whatever. So yeah, that didn't work out. Then I took puts at 11.28, which is right here on this FU setup. I almost got stopped out again, but I stuck with it. I had the 54.85 puts at 650. I started the bounce, rejected 20 EMA, then it finally dumped. So they went from 650 to 1050 right here. And then I took calls at 343. I took the 54.70 calls at 343 right when it dumped and it got over the 545 area. I took calls. The 54.70 calls at 550, and they went from 550 to 850. So didn't play this. Didn't think that we were going to do this. We were going to have this much of a drop, but I was expecting a big end of the day move, because it was end of month, end of quarter, and usually get strong moves, but really wasn't as strong as I thought it would be. This was a huge strong wick right here, but I didn't want to guess the bottom. I didn't want to wait. So I waited till it was a setup. If it didn't get over 545, I just wasn't going to play it, but it did. It had a good play, and ended up being a pretty decent end of the day play. So I can't complain. We had two good end of the day plays, but yeah, I was able to finish the recap. So time to go tend to him, and thanks for watching.